Now let's see another concept, not another concept. So it's a simple thing only. So for example, let's say that you are having a numbers. So 1 comma 2 comma 3. So this is an array, right? How you will loop over this array? So we have a map operator. We have a for each operator. I have shown you, right? Numbers dot for each. So I have shown you, if you remember. So this one I have shown you. You will be taking an anonymous function. So like this we have seen it. In ECMAScript 6, we have another way to loop over an array. So how we can loop over an array is for let number of numbers. So you can use of here. So for loop let number of numbers, and you can do the console.log of number. That's it. So this is for looping over an array. You need to use the of. Then you can loop over an array. There we have used the for each, for loop, and all those things we can use it. But ECMAScript has introduced for looping over an array. For of, we call it as in this one is for of loop. Okay. For of loop is used for looping over the array. Whereas for looping over an object, so how we can use it? So let object is equal to name Leela. Okay. So age 30 we'll be having. Okay. So for looping over this object, so what we can do is for let property, okay, or otherwise key also you can say it, in, we need to use the in here, object, and here you can use console.log object of key. You can loop over like this. So this is looping over of an object, and here we will be using for in loop. So you need to important remember for of loop and for in loop. So you cannot use here for an array, or for this one you cannot use it like this for of, so that it will give you weird results. So for in we will be using here. So now here if I try to use, so this is the looping over array, and here Leela and 30 we are able to get the values. If you want to print the keys also, you can print the keys. Key you can print it directly. So this is about the looping over. So this has been introduced in the ECMAScript 6 for looping over an array like this and looping over an object like this. For example, if you want to check whether a key is existing inside this area, inside this object or not, so you can check something like gender. Okay, gender key is existing in an object or not. So you can check it like this. So now if you try to see here, it will return false. Why? Because gender key doesn't exist inside this one. If you want to check name existing inside this one or not, so you can use this one, true. Name is there, name key is there, right? So it is returning true. So like this you can also use the in operator. When you use this in the for loop, then it will loop over this one. When you use it like this, it will tell you that whether this key is existing inside this object or not. It will try to tell you. So this is about the for of and the for in loop, which was introduced in the ECMAScript. So for looping over an array and an object. So this is all more about this all arrays and objects, recent thing which has been introduced, the latest concepts. So there are also another thing which I want to discuss you. These are all small things only. So remember, try to remember these all things. I will close these things also. So another thing which I want to tell you is the template literal. Okay, template literals. So template literals. Okay, template literal. We'll call it as in template literal. So what is the template literal is? Let's say example I'll try to tell you. So old one, I will try to tell you old one, then only you can understand the latest one, how the latest one has been introduced. Let's say the same thing, same example I'll take. Now I want to frame a sentence. Okay, I want to frame a sentence. How I can frame a sentence? So let's say that here I am using let text is equal to, I am using like this, hello, my name is, and I want to use this variable. What is that name variable? I want to use it. So how can I do? I can concatenate like this, and I can do like this, and I will use something like, and my age is, so again I need to use the plus, and I need to use the age. So like this I need to use. If you try to see here, this is somewhat looking like weird, right? So in the olden JavaScript, so we need to use it like this only. Okay. Now if I try to print the text here, console.log of text, if I try to use this text, then I am able to get output. So here Leela and we are not able to get a gap. So here I can get a gap. I will keep a gap here. Yes, and now I am able to see it. Fine. In the latest JavaScript, so we can change this type of syntax to another syntax that is called as a template literal. How we can change this one is, so remove this one all, and I can use a like this. Okay, escape this one, backtick, we can call it as in backtick, this one. And here I can use hello. So here I can write hello, my name is, like this I can go and write it. And I want to use this variable name, so there is no need to come outside. Here I can use dollar square bracket like this name, that's it, and comma, and my age is, and again I can use dollar square bracket age. So like this I can use it. Now if I try to print the text, then also I will be able to get the same output. So now this time it is very simple to look at it. For example, if I want to use previously, for example, if I want to use here my name is, or otherwise if I want to use I am, so here I want to use single tick here like this. So I want to use a single quote like this, not single tick, sorry, single quote I want to use it, means then here everything breaks. Why? Because I am using already as a delimiters for this one, and in between this one I want to show this single tick. So what I need to do, I need to escape this character. So if I want to escape this character, I need to use the backslash like this. Okay, forward slash, I think it's a forward slash, not backslash, forward slash, I need to use it. So then it will work. Okay, here I am able to get the single tick. Whereas now if you try to see it with the using backtick, so now here I am, so I can use it hello, oh backtick, where is, yeah, hello, and I can use it without any problem. I am like this, I can use it. So here I can use dollar of name, and I can use my age is dollar of age. So it will work without any problem. So now if I try to see the output, I'm able to get it. For example, this dollar name, I want to show it as it is here. Instead of showing that value, referring to that value, I want to show as it is. Then you can use the forward slash. So the same thing which we are trying to use it there, you can use it like this, forward slash. Now when I convert this dollar to the forward slash, so dollar will be displayed as it is. So now name also will be displayed as it is. So like this you can use it. So like this. So now for example, if you want to show a backtick operator here somewhere, so you want to show a backtick operator, means you can use the forward slash. That is not a problem. So you can use it without any problem. The backtick operator will come. So but the common things which are double quotes, single quotes, which you will be using more often in the text. So when you are trying to convert, when you are trying to frame a sentence in the older syntax, means there you need to escape it, and you need to use the concat and all those things. You need to use it, and you need to do that one. So whereas in the backtick, this is called as a template literal. So there is no need for us to do those all things. So this is called as a template literals. So this is the new concept that has been introduced in the ES6. Okay. So these are very, very small things only. I will so this is about the template literals. I will try to tell you another one small concept, and then I will close this one all. So why? Because these are small things only. So that is the reason I am trying to tell you. So which you will be coming across when you are trying to do in the real time, then only you can use it. Then only you will try to understand. So the last one which I want to tell you is that destructuring the arrays. So we can destructure the arrays, and also we can destructure the objects also. Destructuring arrays, that is nothing but array will be in a square bracket structure like that, right? So we can destructure the arrays. For example, let's say that I am having, let numbers is equal to 1, 2. I am having like this. So now I want to save this. Oh, where is this one gone? So I want to save these values in a way, in a different variables. So that means, let's say that let a is equal to numbers of 0. Okay, let b is equal to numbers of 1. Like this we'll be having, right? So now if I try to print console.log of a, and if I try to print console.log of b, so then I'm able to destructure these two things. So now here I'm able to get 1, 2. But here it is involving so many lot of steps, right? So what can I do here is instead of having these two values, I can do in such a way that a comma b. Okay, I can tell it as numbers. So that's it. Now if I try to see the output, then also I'm able to get the same output. So here what it is happening is, I try to remove the variable name, then you will understand. A comma b, and I am using 1, 2. Now when you use a square bracket before the initialization, so that means in the left side if you are trying to use, in the right side if you try to use, it will structure the values into an array. But if you use that the same square brackets before that one, means it will destructure that array. Destructure that array means, so 1 will be stored in a value and b will be stored in b value. 2 value will be stored in b value. So like this it will be destructured. For example, if you try to give comma C, then what will happen? Let's try to see console.log C. So we are thinking that it is having 3 values. That is the reason I am keeping it as A comma B comma C. Now if you try to see, as usual, it will come as undefined. You can also mention a default value for this one. So you can also mention C is equal to default, like this also you can mention. Now if I try to see here, we will be able to get a default value. Why? Because it is not having the third value. If I try to keep 4, something like that means, then the C will become 4. So this is called as a destructuring of the array. Now not only like this, for example, let's say that I want only 1 and 4. Okay, I want only 1 and 4. For example, let's say that I am having let numbers is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. I am having 2 values. I want to save a value as 1 and b value as 3. So I don't want to save b value as 2. I want the b value to be 3. That means the third element I want to have. Then what I can do is, here what we will do, let a comma b is equal to numbers. If I try to give like this, then a will be 1 as usual and b will be 2. But I don't want like this behavior, right? So this is the expected behavior which you will be getting 1 comma 2. But I want the b value not 2, the third value I want to save it. So then what I can do is, I can keep an extra comma here so that this 2 variable will not be saved in any variable. 2 value will not be saved in any variable, and b value, it will have 3. If you try to see the output here, see how we are able to get the output. So these are all the different combinations, so which we will be using more often. So these are the different combinations I can see. So where this one will be very useful is, for example, let's say that I am having some value a is equal to 1 and let b is equal to 2. I want to swap these 2 variables, 2 values. So that means, so that b is equal to 1 it should be and a is equal to 2 it should be. So that means I need to swap these variables. So what you need to use, so what you need to do, some blind logic, what we can say. So we need to have an intermediate variable. So I will save that a variable into this one. So now I will assign b is equal to, I will assign a is equal to b, okay, and I will assign b is equal to c. So now if I try to see console.log of a and b, so this is nothing but swapping of the variables. So now a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2 is there. Now if I try to see, so a is equal to 2, b is equal to 1. So we are taking help of an intermediate variable. I am saving the a value into the c, so that c will be 1. Now I am changing the a value. Now there is no problem for me that I will lose this a value. So it is there in the c value. Now I will save that c value into the b value. Now instead of doing all the steps using the destructuring thing, we can do it very simple. So first what I can do, b comma a. Okay, so this is the variables, right? And I can convert these 2 things into an array, something like a comma b. That's it. So now if I try to do console.log a and console.log b, now these 2 values will be 2 and 1. So the same output you will be able to get it. So I am swapping this one. So like this we can use it. So this type of scenarios you will be able to use this destructuring of the arrays. Now, so destructuring of arrays we have seen. So will it be present for the objects? Yes, it will be present for the objects also. Let's say that I am having something like this, where is equal to object. Let's say that let object is equal to, same example you take, name is equal to Leela and age is equal to 30, will take it. Okay, so what you will try to do here, so normally you will try to do in a such a way that we need to destructure this one, right? So let, I want to have a name variable, okay, which this name value should be saved, and also I will need to have a age, so which this age should be saved and I will give this object. Let's try to print console.log of name and object, whether we can able to get that output or not. So if you try to get an object, you will get an error. Object is not iterable and these all the things we will try to get it. So now we cannot use it like this. So here how we need to use it is, so this one is an array, we need to use a flower bracket, okay, so not this one, we need to use the curly braces. So now if you try to use, see, now we are able to get the output. So name this one and age this one. So remember that this property name and here we should match it, then only this name value will go into this one. Don't think that for example, if I here I am having hello as a function. Let's assume, and I'm using console.log hello like this. And now if you keep a comma here, and don't think that age value will save this hello thing like that. Don't think like that. Why? Because these property names, so here there is no there is no need of indexes and all those things. There is a matter of indexes and all those things, but here we are having it a property name, right? So we should not use it like this. There is no comma like this. So if you want to save it in hello means you can use it hello here. Okay, so hello here means, so now in this hello variable, that hello will be saved. I can use this hello like this directly, and if I try to run here, I can able to get a hello output. So this one, wherever you mention it, so it will try to match the property name. So where the property with this name is available, and that value will be stored in this one. So this is the main important thing in the object. You need to understand it. And for example, okay fine, we are able to get the data in hello, but I don't want to save it in the variable hello. I want to save it in a variable something like welcome. Okay, I want this function to be saved in a variable welcome, but here we need to use the hello name, which is the property name we are having. We need to use that one only. So how can I overcome this one? So like, then you can use an alias name. So you can save that. So whatever the hello property is there in this object, so save it in this variable. We can say it like this. Now if you try to run it here, then we are able to get an hello. So now hello variable will not exist. See, hello variable will not exist. Why? Because we are giving a alias name. So this alias name. In the same scenario, we can also give something like age for this one also. Age field you can give it. And if you try to see the output, so here age is not defined. So this time here, this age variable is not there. Here the variable is age field. So then you'll be able to get an output. So this is nothing but a destructuring of the objects. So we have seen the destructuring of an arrays and also the destructuring of an objects also. So these are all the important concepts which is there in the ECMAScript. Okay.